Right, I think I've finished it. It'll never be finished, will it? But it's pretty much finished on the inside. The outside, there's a lot of work to do. That's going to be a whole different video where I pimp the outside of it. But for now, for this next trip that I'm about to do, it's pretty much done. And I'm going to show you around. So let's go and have a look at the start bit. And I'm going to take my shoes off for this. Right, so first of all, this is probably one of the first things I did actually, which is the bulkhead. I put this in, there's insulation in it, a lot of insulation. That was key to me because you lose loads of heat through the single glazed glass at the front. And then I wanted to do something that sort of reflected me as a landscape photographer. So I've got this sliding door. I was going to put a handle on it, but it doesn't need one. And it's got soft close on it and I can jump in and out of there. So for safety really, that would be really useful. And then I can just pull it shut and I can feel already as soon as I open that, it feels a lot warmer in there than it does in here because the sun's been in there. So I think that looks pretty good. It was hard choosing that photo because I'm stuck with that photo now. But yeah, that's just an acrylic print basically, which looks really good. And then a little bit lower, I put these in because there was a space and these spaces are sort of behind and underneath the seats. So I thought I might as well use that as best I can. This is the best one as a photographer because it goes all the way down there and I can put a tripod in it. So that's going to be good. I've still got to come up with a solution for this where I've just got to get a smaller netting, which I'm waiting for. It's going to go over that to stop it falling out when I accelerate or brake. Not that you can accelerate very fast in this. This, not sure what it's for, maybe putting my cup of tea on or something. And this is for my shoes, so I'm going to just be able to put shoes on. I've just put a net in front of that, so that works really well. And then we're over to the seating area. So let me show you that. So this was probably the most amount of time spent on the van, probably apart from the electrics. And the seating area was really important to me. First of all, I'm not going to be sitting down a lot because of my back, but I wanted to make it as comfortable as I can when I did sit down, hence why I've got these seats. These are the seats that we have in our dining room in our house. They're from a company called John Lewis. I took the bottoms off them and it's as comfy as I'm going to get and it works really well. And then I wanted to be able to slide in and out of here, so I put this sliding mechanism which is here, which is just like a drawer runner. And I can just lift it up a little bit. There's a little bit of pivot in it. So that works really well. But the best bit, the absolute best bit, is my monitor lift. Uncomfortable pause. So the reason I did this was twofold. One, security. Apart from the few thousands of people that are watching this video, people just won't know it's there. And even if they do, it's actually almost impossible to get it out without being able to switch it up, and I can lock that. So I can switch off the electrics remotely so you can't actually get this up. And just be able to have that like that, so that then I can just go like that, move it across, and then have a screen that I know is calibrated as a photographer is just so useful. You know, it just connects. I just put my laptop in down here and it connects. It's just so useful. It's a thing that I probably didn't need, but why not? So this bit is quite important as well. So this is where I put my laptop, which connects to the screen. It's also a secure area as well that I can just hide something away. And I've got 240 volts here if I need it. I'll talk about the electrics later. And then my switch to move the monitor up and down, and also 12 volts. I put 12 volt plugs in, like car plugs everywhere in the van, so that I can decide what I want to put in there. So I can put like an anchor converter for a USB-C or a USB-A. I'm not committed to that actual USB-C or USB-A connection in the wall. It's really important that, because what you find in campervans is that the power that's delivered through a USB-C that you get that are already built into the plug sockets is just really bad. So having it this way, I can control it and get maybe 60 watts or 100 watts out of it. And I put the wiring in to make sure I can do that as well. Okay, on to the kitchen. Actually, before I go, the big drawer. So the big drawer, this drawer here, is going to fit my camera equipment in and my camera bag. I've made it so it's big enough for my biggest camera bag. So that'll go in there. I've got to sort of put a fix on this. I said it's almost finished, it's not quite finished. I've got to put a little latch on this because what I found when I drove is that with the weight of it, it did open even though these are sort of soft close. There's another smaller drawer there as well. Right, onto the kitchen. So this is probably the bit that looks the best, I think. This top looks amazing. I'm so pleased with this top. The curvy edges. I sort of made it out of a few planks of sort of rustic oak, I suppose, and then planed them all up. So that looks really good. The sink's got a pull out on it. I've undermounted the sink, and then also I've got room for a water filter, which I've not fitted yet. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to fit that or not, and I'll explain about that later. I've got an induction hob. So the induction hob was, I was of two minds about this because I've got a pacemaker and they don't play very well with induction hobs, but I thought, well, I'm quite a long way away from it, so it should be all right. Time will tell. And then I've got always I've got 12 volts and two 40 volts. This is where all my control center is. I've got a Victron control system. When I get to the back of the van, I'll show you the electrics a little bit more about that. But this allows me to do all sorts of things. So I can switch the inverter on and off, so I can get 240 volts. I can check the battery. I can see that at the moment I'm getting some solar, see whether it's connected to the grid. On this as well, I can also check levels, so I can see what my freshwater tank is, my wastewater tank is, and then I can also on this switch on there's a switch here which switches on the fan in the toilet to extract any air from the toilet when I've done number 2. So that's that. There's a heater here. These two switches up here are for the awning and my Starlink satellite, so I can switch that on and off. So if I just switch that on, then I've then got internet connection. The reason I wanted to switch that is because it uses about 40 watts of power, and so when I'm not using it, I might as well switch it off. Under the kitchen, I've got kitchen roll. Not allowed that in the house. My wife hates it, so put that in. And then I've got a bin here, and you can just see it. I've got a bin here, and then in there I've just velcroed a tub to the floor, and that just means that I can put things in there and they don't shake around. You always got to think about it in a camper van about what is going to move around when you move, which makes it 10 times more difficult, but that works pretty well, I think. And they're all soft close. I've got 3 drawers. I'm not going to go into what I've got in every drawer, but again, I've just got things that fit really tightly so things don't slide around. Then the most important thing in the whole van, an espresso coffee machine. Gotta have one of those. So yeah, so I've fitted that into here. It pulls out. I can get to the water at the back and fill it up, and I think that's an essential, isn't it? So in the top cupboard, there's not a lot of space in these, but I want to use it as best I can. I've got these 3, it took so long to find these plastic containers, but I want to put everything in containers so they don't slide around. These fit perfectly in here. So I just looked online until I found the right sizes of everything. So I've got one of them, for instance, that has all the electric tools and all the other bits of tools that I might need. If anything goes wrong with the camper van, when it goes wrong, it's bound to go wrong. I can fix it on the road, hopefully. One good thing about doing the camper van yourself is you know what you did, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find a problem, he says. Onto the bathroom shower. So I used this roller door and I fitted this, which is brilliant. If you're looking for one of these, link in description to most of the things as well, by the way, that I've done on the build. But this roller door was absolutely fantastic. It works really, really well. It's super light. It was quite tricky to get in place, but that's just because I'm inept. But anyway, I finally got there. I've got a shower tray, and this is sort of a wet room really. And I'm gonna have to get in, aren't I? But in here, we have got, I've got a max fan here. So this is just like a really mini fan that I can switch on and off. And it just means that I can take out the air of here if I have a shower. There's a shower here. Okay, which also I can isolate this shower from just under there. In fact, I'll show you that. So under here, I've created these little holes here that I put magnets on, and in there is the actual isolator for the shower, and then I can just put them back on like that. So I've got the shower, hook for a towel, toilet roll, and then this is a separate toilet. So basically, it's so boring talking about a toilet, isn't it? But basically, your number 1 and number 2 go down 2 separate things. The reason that's important is that if they mix, that's when it really, really horribly smells. It still smells, but it's even worse. So you separate them out, and then one of them goes into a bag. You can get rid of it really easily. And that's it really. This was just, oh my gosh, a lot of work to do. It's all a proper wet room. And there's a heater into here as well from my Truma 60E heater. So this is a sort of tall unit, I suppose. This was a fairly simple unit to make, probably one of the easiest things to do in the camper van. So I've got a microwave, which is really important for me because I just want to make it as easy as possible to make food. I will also though probably prep food and then freeze some of it. So it's important when I had a fridge that it had a freezer compartment to it as well, just for small portions of food. So if I make like a chili con carne, then I might have it the next night, or I might want to freeze a little bit of it. So this is a pretty good fridge. It's 12 volts and it's fairly low energy fridge really. So this is pretty decent. And then I made this pantry unit here. So there's my carbon monoxide detector. Need to put that in. So this is just to put like cans of beans and things like that, sugar, etc. So that works pretty well. Again, all soft close. And then down here, this is just like a push to open. So this is an area that I've just used up, covering up some pipes for the heating, because the heating, you can see, comes out here and it also comes out in the seating area. So this covers those up. But my plan with this is that this fits an A3 printer. So my plan with this, and I probably won't be able to do it on this first trip, but I'll have a slide out thing that will allow me to put an A3 printer in so I can print things on the road. Okay, the bedding area. So this is like a little bit bigger. It's probably about 30% bigger than a single bed, and 30% smaller than a double. You could have two people in here, but it'd be quite cozy. I had to have a mattress fit to size to go in here, but it works really well. And yeah, this is pretty good. There's a heater down here which I put too low, so I might have to move that up. But when the heating comes on in here, it's so powerful. It heats up so quickly, and it's so well insulated, this van, that you know, I've noticed that when it really retains its heat really well. Okay, so the other thing that's really exciting on here is this, which is allows me to charge my phone really easy when I'm in bed. So I can just stick my phone on there and it will charge. And then also if you put it in that mode, you get your clock as well. So I've then got a clock when I'm in bed, which works pretty well. So that's pretty good. And then also I've got these which I can charge my computer with, or I've also got a 240 volts if I need it.
Oh, and I forgot to say, I've also got a projector screen. The idea of this was just because I could. I thought I might be able to look through my videos and edit, but to be honest, it's not good enough quality. But it uses an ingenious way of clipping. I'm using just these Peak Design clips just to clip it in, and that works pretty well. And the camera strap, and then the projector just comes down from the ceiling and just pivots out, and it works really well. Even though it's projecting from the corner, it actually worked amazingly well. And then I just put a power port up at the top there to connect it to. So yeah, pretty good.
So this is the garage. Most camper vans have a garage which is underneath the bed. Mine's not massive because I've obviously got the toilet at the back of the van, but it's pretty big. You could get a bike in here if you took the wheels off it. It's pretty decent. This side here is where the water is. I've got the water inside the van because I'm probably going to be going to Norway or something like that. And I wanted to be able to have you know, the ability not to have frozen water. I've got various valves here that either drain the water or take the water through to the rest of the van. This is pretty good. It's just like a massive fold out thing. It's really sturdy, this. You know, you can do all sorts of things with this. At the moment, I'm just going to have these on that I'm going to either screw down or just lock in place somewhere that I can put some clothes in, some outdoor gear, etc. Maybe I'll put other bits of camera equipment and things through here as well. And yeah, that goes in and out. Pretty good. Then, the bit that took the longest is the electrics. I mean, I don't know where to start with this, but it's basically based on a Victron system. We have 3 ways of powering the battery, which is under there, and that is either by the alternator of the car, charging it I mean, the alternator of the car, solar, or plugging it into the mains. And to do that, I've basically got a solar charge controller, a battery charger, and this Victron Multiplus 2, which is an inverter / charger. And that also provides 240 volts to all the 240 volt sockets in the van through some breaker switches. And I've also got the Starlink converter here because I had to do some electronics to make the Starlink run off 12 volts. Unfortunately, I did all this before the Starlink Mini came out, which would have been so much simpler to use, but hey ho. And I've got my Wi-Fi here, and there's various bits of other electronics that link to my Amazon Alexa so I can talk to it and switch things on and off. Boring stuff, but quite cool. And yeah, I've got like master switches here so I can switch things on and off easily. And that's it. I've got some storage in various places. Should we look on the roof? Okay, we're up on the roof now, and there's a few things I put up on here. First of all, the roof rack, so I could put all the other things onto it. In hindsight, I'm not sure I'd do that again because it added quite a lot of weight, which when I was building it, I realized I was getting close to the 3.5 tons. I'm not quite there, but it's pretty close when it's all packed and full of water. But I've got a big solar panel, which is like a 560 watt solar panel. Realistically, on a sunny day in the summer, you probably get about 400 watts out of it every hour. And then I've got the Max Air fan, and then I've got a Starlink, which I've created this 3D printed mount for, and then I custom made some brackets to fit it on there. And that's powered from the electronics that I did, so it all runs from 12 volts, which is really important. And then I've got the FEMA awning, which I've converted to be electric, so it just opens up electrically. And that's pretty it. And there's a little fan at the back as well for the bathroom. It's pretty much it. It's pretty cool and very dirty now, I've noticed. Well, that's it. Right, sort of. It's not really, is it? I've got a lot more things to do, but it's it, ready for a big trip. And it's been such an amazing experience to do. I'm so proud of it, but wow, it is so much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. And when I say difficult, not in that I couldn't do it, it's just so much more time consuming. But I got there, and I'm dead excited for my first photography trip now, which is going to be in a couple of days. And I'll leave you with some of the funny moments when I was making this van. Just got to get in here now. Well, this is my van. Don't know if I can get it in my drive. Put all the roof rack bits in here. Be tidy, Nigel, be tidy. One of the biggest problems I'm going to have with this project is losing stuff. I'm not the most tidy person, so I've got to keep tidy. 814. I think it's just going to fit. I've done the whole thing wrong. So basically, I'm done. I cut it 400, but it's the inside that needs to be 400 by 400. Good start. First thing I do on my camper van, I measure it wrong. This one's got to be 480. That's maybe longer than those. I made those 500. I shouldn't be doing this camper van. This is going to go so bad. First hole cut. Boom. Yes! I have a hole in my van. I've lost the window. Could be up here. Nope, that could be it. That can't be it, because that's like, well, this looks like it, but yeah, this is it. This one's got instructions. The other one didn't come with instructions. Putting something else on top. So there's a long way of saying, I'm not sure what to do here, but what I'm going to try is see if I can get the wire down a gap in there. So I'm going to push the wire down, That's hot. Oh, it got really hot really quickly. Whoa, that's melting it. Literally can't see anything because it's reflecting so much. Right, I think I'm just gonna eyeball it. Let's check it's eyeballed about right. So if I just, I need to draw a line. Just do it right, Nigel. And help me tidy up, so basically, I've lost everything now. This is just the classic Nigel loses something in the garage. Where are my goggles? I shouldn't have tidied up. That's why you never tidy up. They won't be in there. I continued to search for the missing goggles. Meanwhile, in the van, Rick had spotted something hiding behind more mess. 540, and then I had to take off double that, which is 34. 34 is 78. No, 68. Why can't I just do simple maths? I've got a PhD. Oh! Right. Well, that's okay. We can use this for the other bits. I'm so excited about this. It's just working so well. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Nope, that's not perfect. Because there's just been so much to do on this with the final reveal of the photo. And that works so well. Okay, I've got to put a trim on it. That looks ace. As you can see, I'm now under the van. Oh, that is perfect. Absolutely exactly where I wanted it.
Obviously, Pebbles wasn't so sure about that.
That looks wrong. I can't get it through. It could be dangerous. If somebody switched the car on now, that would not be good. So, we're putting the waste in, and the waste, as you just saw, we made a little bit of a mistake there, but we fixed that with a little bit of the bathroom laminate. So that, right, take this tape off, and then see if it fits. So I need help for that. Right, so this is how I get help. And now I can just move it to where I want. So maybe I want it about there, like that. And I can quite easily edit my laptop photos knowing the colour's going to be good. And I'm going to be doing a lot of this, also editing videos on here as well when I'm out in the field.